Britney Spears has spoken out against TMZ after they aired an unauthorized documentary about her life since her conservatorship ended in 2021.
Britney Spears is revealing a whole lot of family secrets with the release of her book titled The Woman in Me, and it's said that she'll earn about $15 million just from this book alone. She's also been talking to her teenage sons about the book because it does contain some very private family details. One source that's close to Britney had this to say: you read some of her family history in the book and you think, oh my god, that poor girl. You have to be really patient with somebody telling their story for the first time and not force them.
Finally, at 40, without the restraints of what my family did to me.
She details her family history from her grandparents to her parents to why she is the way she is. This same insider also revealed that Britney Spears has been talking to her teenage sons, Sean Preston and Jaden James, about the revelations that she's making in her memoir. And the boys, who recently moved to Hawaii with their father Kevin Federline, reportedly haven't seen their mom Britney in over a year, but they've been communicating with her over the phone.
Their sons Jaden, 16, and Preston, 17, hadn't seen their mom for months.
Now, in her memoir, Britney is expected to share both the highs and the lows of her life, from the 2008 mental breakdown that she had to the end of her 13-year conservatorship in the year 2021. And the book is said to be completely unfiltered. Like, we're getting all the juice, all the dirt, all the gossip, and it will reveal a lot of private and secret details about her life experiences. While it's very uncertain how her sons feel about the book, there are some reports suggesting that there's a possible dispute between Britney and their father Kevin Federline over child support.
There's a high chance that this is never gonna really stop.
As their eldest son approaches 18 years old, there's speculation that Kevin Federline is gonna seek an increase in child support payments, and he's also going to be leveraging Hawaii's extended child support laws to take advantage of this.
The boys have decided that, you know, they're not seeing her right now. It's been a few months since they've actually been seeing her.
Kevin Federline, he currently receives a monthly child support payment of $40,000 for their 2 children, which was originally based on the assumption of joint custody. However, Britney Spears, she hasn't had joint custody for some time, and Kevin Federline's support payments could be at risk of being reduced by half of the amount because their eldest son is approaching 18 years old. So it's alleged that potentially to secure more financial support from Britney, Kevin, he could argue that he covers all of their youngest son Jaden's expenses. And also there is some benefit to get more child support potentially if you live in Hawaii.
Kevin Federline is considering going back to court and possibly seeking more child support money from Britney Spears.
So he's definitely looking to drain more money out of Britney. So a book release will 100% help her financially because there's so much money that people are trying to take from her. And yeah, who knows how much more money Kevin Federline could get out of her for child support, as well as other costs that Britney has to go through, especially with her divorce from Sam Asghari. And you know, I'm 100% sure that she's gonna be spilling a whole lot of dirt on these 2 men in her book. But yeah, with this whole child support thing though, like, it's pretty crazy because over in Hawaii, they sometimes require child support to be paid until the child reaches 23 years of age. And Kevin's relocation to Hawaii with their sons was said to be prompted by his wife, Victoria Prince, being offered a job at the University of Hawaii. But to me, it just really sounds completely orchestrated to get some more money out of Britney, and I feel like, you know, his wife is also benefiting from the child support money that's coming in. But man, with Britney Spears' life, there's so much going on, and with the release of this memoir, no doubt that there's gonna be so much more that we just don't know about. I think we're gonna be really surprised with some of the stuff that she
Britney Spears reveals why she shaved her head during a turbulent time in her life.
After 16 years, Britney Spears has explained why she shaved her head before her conservatorship, and this is the reason that she gave.
February 16th, 2007, Britney walked into a Tarzana, California salon and shaved off all her signature long hair.
She also shared some other secrets before she made headlines for shaving her head.
We will turn now to a story that is burning up the internet. It's Britney Spears, the pop star, shaving her own head.
So when we take a look in her memoir titled The Woman in Me, Britney revealed that she felt really judged about her body ever since her teenage years. And shaving her head, well, that was her way of rebelling.
I think I did it again. I made you believe.
But once her father took control of her life in 2008, she lost control over her daily decisions.
I'm a Sagittarius, I'm very keen on freedom.
And this is what Britney wrote in her book. I'd been eyeballed so much growing up. I'd be looked up and down, had people telling me what they thought of my body since I was a teenager. Shaving my head and acting out were my ways of pushing back.
I'm not that innocent.
And yeah, could you just imagine like having that kind of pressure on you as a teenager? Like you're being forced literally and being criticized that you don't look a certain way, or you need to look a certain way, have a certain type of body, and you want to express yourself differently in different ways, but all that pressure telling you what you have to look like, yeah, that's a lot. And Britney felt a lot of pressure to conform after her conservatorship began. So not just in her teenage years, also in her conservatorship. She had to follow strict rules, including growing her hair and taking prescribed medications. Imagine that, you're being told like, no, you have to grow your hair and you don't have a choice about this.
Be strong and be you.
So in 2007, she tried to shave her head at Esther's haircutting studio, but the owner declined. So Britney, she took the matter in her own hands and she used the clippers to cut her hair while the paparazzi was watching. Yeah, that was big in the news. And also, amid her divorce and custody battle with Kevin Federline, Britney's actions, including the hair shaving incident, drew a lot of media attention. And in 2008, after her hospitalization, her father Jamie obtained legal guardianship over her through the court because they had so much proof that Britney had lost her mind because of all the media coverage and everything. So it was like an easy win for Jamie, her father, to take control of her life. In her book, Britney also had this to say: "The conservatorship stripped me of my womanhood, made me into a child. I became more of an entity than a person on stage. I had always felt music in my bones and my blood. They stole that from me." Britney Spears then went on to say that her family's actions were completely unjust and said that her true self was suppressed. She felt very pressured to perform intensely when she was on stage, but she had to behave like a robot when she was off stage. And then fast forward to 2021, after testifying against her conservatorship, a judge suspended and later terminated her father's control over her. But years before even this whole conservatorship happened, before the shaving of the head and everything, Britney had experienced something that may have affected her more than she even thinks. In her memoir, she shares that she had aborted an unborn child with Justin Timberlake years before dating her ex Kevin Federline and having children with him. Now, she describes this pregnancy as being completely unexpected, but it wasn't a tragic event though, and this happened in late 2000. In her own words, describing the incident, here's what Britney recalled. "I loved Justin so much. I always expected us to have a family together one day. This would just be much earlier than I'd anticipated. But Justin definitely wasn't happy about the pregnancy. He said we weren't ready to have a baby in our lives and that we're way too young." She then continued by saying this: "I'm sure people will hate me for this, but I agreed not to have the baby. I don't know if that was the right decision. If it had been left up to me alone, I never would have done it. And yet Justin was so sure that he didn't want to be a father." And then following their highly publicized breakup in 2002, Justin Timberlake insinuated in an interview with Barbara Walters that Britney Spears had cheated on him around that time, but Britney Spears didn't confirm or deny the claim at the time.
Want a piece of me? You want a piece?
Definitely want a piece of Britney Spears, and we're gonna get it. Okay guys, so my book is coming out very, very soon. I worked my ass off for this book. I had a lot of therapy to get this book done, so you guys better like it.
Here are some of the biggest secrets that Britney Spears exposed in her memoir. Britney Spears opened up about her past relationship with Justin Timberlake and the unexpected pregnancy that they faced in their relationship.
A bombshell from Britney Spears, who reveals that she had an abortion during her relationship with her ex, Justin Timberlake.
During their time together, Britney got pregnant, which came as a surprise, but it wasn't considered a tragic event for her. She expressed her deep love for Justin and her anticipation of having a future family with him. However, Justin Timberlake, on the other hand, was not enthusiastic about the pregnancy at all and said that they were way too young and unprepared to be parents.
Brit says Justin definitely wasn't happy about the pregnancy. He said we weren't ready to have a baby, that we were way too young.
So, respecting Justin's wishes, she underwent the procedure to not have the baby.
I had a lot of therapy.
And then on top of that, Britney Spears revealed that during her relationship with Justin Timberlake, he actually cheated on her with another celebrity, despite Justin saying that it was actually Britney Spears that cheated on him. By the way, this is according to a report from TMZ.
She got pregnant with Justin Timberlake's baby. They decided not to have the baby. She had an abortion.
However, Britney Spears does refrain from revealing the identity of the other woman in her book just to avoid any type of embarrassment. Also, in February of 2008, Britney Spears was placed under a conservatorship with her father, Jamie Spears, as one of the conservators.
Mr. Spears loves his daughter Britney unconditionally. For 13 years, he has tried to do what is in her best interests.
And in her memoir, Britney revealed the emotional torment that she endured from her father, especially until the conservatorship ended in November of 2021.
I'm so pleased and proud to say Jamie Spears is no longer a conservator.
She detailed how Jamie constantly criticized her body, causing deep emotional pain, and the hurt was so intense because of the criticism. It came from her own father, so that made it worse, and he repeatedly called her fat as well as pressured her to change her appearance.
Britney Spears has been faced with a decade-long nightmare, a Kafkaesque nightmare, orchestrated by her father.
And this ongoing criticism completely shattered her self-image, and it created a soul-crushing experience for her. But despite her numerous achievements and accomplishments, her father's negative words left a lasting impact on her self-worth. Britney Spears then went on to reveal that her decision to shave her head in 2007 was a direct response to the relentless judgment that she faced about her body throughout her life.
Britney Spears reveals why she shaved her head during a turbulent time in her life.
And having been under all of that constant pressure and public scrutiny, she felt pushed to her limits. And then Britney went on to share this.
I'd been eyeballed so much growing up. I'd been looked up and down, had people telling me what they thought of my body since I was a teenager.
Shaving my head and acting out were my ways of pushing back. However, this act of defiance marked a turning point for her, and once the conservatorship took effect, Britney's independence was severely restricted. She no longer had control over her appearance or her daily routine. Growing her hair out, as well as adhering to a specific body shape, following a strict bedtime, as well as taking prescribed medications became a part of her new reality. That's just what she had to do.
And I haven't been taking my medication.
She had to follow the rules, even something as small as you gotta grow your hair out. And one of the saddest statements that she made in her memoir is the following, and take a listen because you can hear the emotion and hurt in her words. This is what Britney said. I became a robot, but not just a robot, a sort of child robot. I had been so infantilized that I was losing pieces of what made me feel like myself. The conservatorship stripped me of my womanhood, made me into a child. I became more of an entity than a person on stage. I had always felt music in my bones and my blood. They stole that from me. Despite these challenges and restrictions though, Britney did manage to achieve remarkable milestones under her conservatorship. Britney Spears. Like she released 4 albums. She did 3 world tours as well as headlined a Las Vegas residency. Britney also opened up about the time filming her 2002 movie called Crossroads. And Britney Spears faced a new challenge at that time. It wasn't because of anybody that was involved in the production or anything like that, but rather it was the impact that acting had on her mental state.
Are you serious?
Britney took on method acting, and that's a type of method where actors fully immerse themselves in their roles. And she had some surprising things to say about her acting experience. This is what she said. I didn't know how to break out of my character. I really became this other person. Some people do method acting, but they're usually aware of the fact that they're doing it. But I didn't have any separation at all. I ended up walking differently, carrying myself differently, talking differently. I was someone else for months while I filmed Crossroads.
You and Taylor were the actors. Britney was new to the party. Did you guys have to take her under your wing?
Britney was a natural from the beginning.
And then after Crossroads, Britney Spears was considered for the leading role in the film The Notebook, but she wasn't interested, and this is what she had to say about that. The Notebook casting came down to me and Rachel McAdams, and even though it would have been fun to reconnect with Ryan Gosling after our time on the Mickey Mouse Club, I'm glad I didn't do it. If I had, instead of working on my album In the Zone, I'd have been acting like a 1940s Harris day and night.